Crime and Punishment, a novel by Dostoevsky, is filled with complex characters and multiple themes. Today, we are talking about how poverty negatively influenced four essential characters. Poverty pushed them into committing actions that they wouldn't normally do. In this video, we will demonstrate how this theme remains true throughout the novel.
I was once a former student, a well-educated young man. It's such a shame to see my talents go to waste simply because of this ravenous entity called poverty. Of course, I could have easily scrapped up the resources to get that degree, but please don't ask me about it. I've got my own reasons. Ever since I dropped out of college because of my economic issues, I've had to live in an exclusive room by myself on the 5th floor of an apartment. Night after night, I dread going back there, not only because the living conditions is less than desirable, but because I have to walk quickly past that wretched landlady, Alyona Ivanovna. Ugh. Don't even get me started on that landlady. I refuse to believe for even a second that I actually owe money to that woman. Curse my economic hardships. She's an abomination to society and a hag who should be eradicated. In fact, I had ruminated about that idea for a while. I certainly had my qualms about doing the deed. In the end, I did happen to kill her. It's all for my own good of being a great man. For one, there are two kinds of people. One who follows a normal moral code, and the extraordinary who do not need to be bound by such a code to do good deeds in this world. I dare say I am part of the extraordinary. I believe I don't need to be held back by economic issues to do good deeds. Therefore, I can logically reason that I didn't owe that landlady anything. It is thanks to my economic problems that I can assert my role as being an extraordinary man.
I am Katerina Ivanova Marmeladov, the unfortunate wife of Marmeladov. I was born into the upper class, unlike the other peasants of this wretched town. Curse my first husband, if husband is what you would label a man who beat me daily to only leave me with 3 children. Marmeladov, oh Marmeladov, yes, it is true he came to me as a knight should to whisk me from my castle, yet the journey brought me here. Ugh, here. Although I may not have the lavishness of once upon a time, I am happy with this family. Yes, it is true that I have pushed my beloved stepdaughter Sonia into prostitution. In my previous upper-class lifestyle, such decision would have never crossed my mind. But due to this poverty, why not? I mean, there isn't any other alternative. Starve or survive. I'm telling you, this poverty likes to meddle in all our lives. I blame poverty for this sickness. It is because of poverty that I'm dying from consumption. Curse poverty.
As I sit here in my tiny bed, counting my small amount of money I gained tonight, I begin to dwell on the twisted turns my life has faced. I was once an innocent 17-year-old, a hungry one, but still innocent. My stepmother ultimately gave me no choice. It was either I bring money or I disappear. So yes, I chose to not necessarily break the law, but go into an unsavory work of film. The yellow ticket I carry clogs my image and brings a cloud of shame over my head and heart. Who could ever love a prostitute? No one. My father has no help at all. He would take the last of my money and leave me like a fiend to quench his thirst. So now here I sit on my tiny bed, exiled from everyone, wishing I would have not been dealt with the cards I was given. However, I know that my circumstances have made me so thankful for what I have done. I am as faithful as I could be in the Lord. My poverty has defined my actions and life circumstances, but has not defined my spirit nor my aspirations.
For a while now, I have been attempting to figure out a solution to my problem. Before the start of my troubles, I worked as a governess and had earned money well. However, I was forced into poverty when my employer, Tsvi Brigailov, tried to force himself on me. Since then, the villagers had alienated Mother and I could get no job. We had little money left, and so I decided to agree to Lucin's proposition. Lucin was an educated, established, and economically stable man. In order to survive, I would need Lucin's wealth. I will do it for my family. When I was confined to marriage with Lucin, I realized it was a mistake once he had insulted my family. Before I had gained my inheritance, I felt forced to any sort of financial opportunity that was available.